I had an interesting conversation with one of my young 10-year-old students recently. The studio had been closed for a brief holiday break over a holiday weekend, and I hadn't seen this student for 2 weeks. When he returned to his weekly lesson at the studio, he surprised me by showing me that he had learned even more than I expected him to do, and he did it on his own. I clapped delightedly when he showed me what he had developed in his home practice. You learned so much more than what I saw at your last lesson. How did you do that? And he turns to me and he says, I practiced. And here was my opportunity, because I could now steer the conversation in the direction of discussing what effective practice is and reinforcing how it leads to learning mastery, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what did you do? And what do you mean by practice? He thought a bit before he answered. And then he said, you can practice in 2 ways. There's the kind of practice when students come to their lesson and they practice with you. I think this describes students who don't do any kind of practicing at all in between lessons. So I nodded my head. Yep, that's right. This is one way to practice. But he continued. He said, the other kind of practice is when the student practices at home and then comes to their lesson to practice even more with you at their lesson. Wow, this young student really understands the practice concept. Children often see things very clearly like this. I hope we can all see the same wisdom in his final words. We can do ourselves at home the work in between lessons and then continue to build on our progress at lessons. This is the road to mastery, no matter what the learning subject is. Summer is a great time to take up some new learning endeavor or pursuit, and then embark on that journey towards mastery of learning and practicing.